Hi, I'm Stephanie with MXS Electric, and today I'm going to show you how to replace a three-way switch.
So first things first, you go to your panel and turn off your breaker. Next, you're going to take your flathead screwdriver and just remove these plate screws. Then remove the plate, and this one had a gasket, so I just took that off as well. Then you're going to use your number 1 bit and your impact or a screwdriver. Remove these 2 screws here, pull it out, and then of course test it. Make sure that it is for sure not live. So pay special attention to this black screw here. All three-way switches will have 1 black screw and 2 brass screws. Now here's where I tried to remove the screw with my number 1 bit like they normally use. This one actually needed a number 2. And I prefer to just remove the screws altogether when I'm not reusing the switch. So like I said, keep in mind which wire went to the black screw. You're going to rewire the new switch the exact same way the old switch was wired. So any way you find it easiest, whether you want to tag this wire, I typically straighten it out and put a moret on it because I always have them in my pocket, and then I remember which one is going to go to the black screw. You're also going to want to take a moment to make sure everything else was done correctly. So you want to make sure that the bare copper grounds are bonded correctly to the box of those back screws, and this one was. They often are not. Also make sure that your neutral splice is nice and tight, that the moret is tight on there, and then tuck it nice and far in the back because we don't need that one. Then you are going to get everything straight again, remembering which one is going to go to the black screw. Make sure you uncurl the ends. All the new Decora switches, you don't curl the ends, so you're just going to put them right under a little plate and sandwich it in with the screw. So once those are nice and straight, it's time to put the new switch on. So again, look at the colors of the screws, find the black screw, and that's the one that your tagged wire is going to go under. So you're going to sandwich the wires underneath the little plate and tighten the screw. Like I said before, these are typically going to be a number 1 Robertson bit, and you're just going to tighten them down nice and snug. Now you're going to flip it over and just pop that other wire in there, tighten that one down. And then bring your switch right side up again and start tucking those wires in. Technically, there is no right side up for these switches as they're three-way. One of them will always be on, one will always be in the off position. And then with that same number 1 Robertson bit, you're gonna go ahead and screw this back into the box, making sure you want to keep it nice and straight and level. Here I wasn't happy, so I backed it out a bit so that I could readjust and make sure it's nice and straight. Now it's time to put the plate on. So here's our new Decora-style plate. And again, these are going to go on with your flathead screwdriver. You don't need to put these on too tight, really just so that the plate is flush with the wall. And as far as whether you want the screws to be horizontal or vertical, that's personal preference as long as they're both the same. I took a moment after this to replace the switch below as well to get rid of the other old toggle switch. Then it was time to turn the breaker back on and test to make sure everything was working properly. When you're testing a three-way switch, make sure you test it from both sides, making sure everything turns off and on. And every good electrician cleans up after they're done. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. MXS Electric, we bring the power.